What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the Brew Lab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the Brew Lab, I'm coming at you with another Explorer Brew, kind of continuing on this little trend. I want to rattle out a couple of Yorion brews for Explorer. I've also just reached Mythic, nice and early in the month. So there's going to probably be some slightly longer queuing times, especially in Explorer. My experience so far has been that a lot of people are playing Lord of the Rings in all its various formats, and that has taken some players away from the other formats. So, you know, Draft, Limited, Draft, Sealed, and Explorer. I mean, Historic and Alchemy, I think are being played a little bit more than usual because of the Lord of the Rings cards. So yeah, the queue times have been a little long. You'll just have to bear with me. But as I mentioned, we're going to be looking at some Yorion piles over the next few days. And we've already just had a look at the Sultai Ultimatum one with the Emergent Ultimatum. Now we're going to be playing Abzan. And so without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew, simply called AbzOrion. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's definitely like an enchantment constellation deck that's making use of one of my favoriteest old combos, Treacherous Blessing and Doom Foretold. I know, like, this will be a very long BrewTech if I go over every single card, and a lot of the cards here you already know about, but there's, with the Treacherous Blessing, Doom Foretold thing, and Doom Foretold in general, for those of you who forgot this card, I used to thoroughly enjoy Esper with Dance of the Manse. Also from Eldraine. I'll show you the card in a second if you've forgotten. But basically at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-land, non-token permanent. If that player can't, they discard a card, they lose 2 life, you draw a card, you gain 2 life, and you get a 2/2 white knight. No. So lots of value. What you're trying to do is set up a board of your own where you have a few permanents that you don't care about sacrificing, so that when it's your upkeep, you sack something that you don't care to sack. When it's the opponent's upkeep, they have to sack something that they do want to sack. And then eventually, if you do it properly, they get into a situation where their board is empty and they can't play anything else, because they'll know that whatever they play, it'll go back to our hand, our turn, we'll sack something that we don't need, and then it'll go back to their turn and they'll have to sack that thing. So they basically have to skip a turn while they wait for the Doom Foretold, and you'll let it go back to your turn, you sack something you don't need, goes back to their turn, now they have nothing to sack, so then they have to discard a card, lose 2 life, you gain 2 life, draw a card, and you get a 2/2 white knight with Vigilance. So like, it's really great little value train once it gets rolling, but you need to do, set up the board state correctly, and one of the pieces which helps with that is Treacherous Blessing, which is, as the card says, a blessing in disguise, because when it ETBs, you draw 3 cards, and it's an enchantment, so that works great with our Archon, with our Setessan Champion. But then, whenever you cast a spell, and Treacherous Blessing is on the board, then you lose a life. You may need to deal with it in a different way than just with the Doom Foretold. Of course, like that's why I've isolated them here. The first thing you do after you cast Treacherous Blessing is cast the Doom Foretold, so you can get rid of it the next turn. But if that doesn't line up for whatever reason, then you can also Mythos of Nethroi, your own Treacherous Blessing, and just get it off the board. But of course, that's bad use of your mana, because you'd rather use your Mythos of Nethroi on something the opponent, you need to remove from the opponent's side of the board. So these go great together. Also, Omen of the Sun is another great thing to sack to the Doom Foretold. Whatever else you got lying about, you may not need your Meathook that's there. It's done its thing. You just get rid of it. But most of the time, these are the things that we getting rid to the Doom Foretold, and it's just been fine. You don't need too many turns with it on the battlefield for you to get as much value as possible. So now that is clear, the rest of the deck... Ooh, why is this looking so unbalanced? Oh, yes, because this is also a 4-drop. Is enchantments that are good. So, Meathook Massacre, making a comeback from the Sultai version. Kind of missed playing with this card. And now that I'm playing Explorer, I get to again. Hells yeah. Great sweeper in general, and even better in a deck that cares about enchantments. So we'll be triggering our Archon and Champion with the Meathook. 3 copies of Audacity just to give our champions trample and some card advantage, as well as it being an aura. So triggering. Plenty of enchantment removal. So we got Seal from Existence, Binding of the Old Gods, Elspeth Conquers Death, as well as Elspeth's Nightmare. That's plenty of like enchantment-based removal, as well as some instant speed interaction in the Mythos of Nethroi, which can remove anything as long as you have the right mana for it. So if you've just got black mana, you can destroy a creature, and if you then spend full like Abzan mana, 1 of each color, black, green, and white, then you can destroy any non-land permanent. So pretty nice. We're drawing cards with the champion. We're drawing cards with the Audacity. Dying. We're drawing cards with the Treacherous Blessing. Don't forget, and I'm still getting to the real reason for Abzan, which is over here. Of course, it's another Ultimatum deck, but we can do similar things to what the Ultimatum can do with the Calix. Considering that the entire deck is mostly enchantments, if you can ever get Calix here, the Planeswalker Calix, to 7 loyalty, then you -7 return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So if you've still got your Setessan Champion, your Archon in play, and you do that with the Calix and all of your enchantments come back, it's really, really nice. And Elspeth Conquers Death also brings back the Calix, brings back our Archon, so nice little other way of bringing things back. But the real reason for playing Abzan is the Eerie Ultimatum. So this is the Abzan one. Probably the most balanced one, the one that feels the most fair and well designed. Some of the other ones are just a little bit too broken, but I guess a 7 mana spell that's quite hard to cast should be pretty broken. This one allows you to return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. So again, the opponent's just getting rid of things, killing things, then suddenly you cast an Eerie Ultimatum, you bring back everything, including maybe a Yorion that ended up in the yard at some point in the game. And then that just like, the number of triggers and ETB effects are just gets ridiculous, because everything comes back, triggers all of your Archons and Setessans and whatnot. Then your Yorion also comes back, and then your Yorion blinks everything that just came back, and then that all goes and comes back again, and then triggers everything again, and it goes crazy. So I hope we get to do that at least once during tonight's gameplay footage, then I will consider it a successful night. But that is it as far as this BrewTech. I think the game plan is quite clear. We've got a incredibly wonky Yorion-style mana base, but I think I've done a fairly good job. And it also still includes enough basics with which to cast Eerie Ultimatum. And, you know, also plenty of people doing, like, land destruction, weird stuff in Explorer, because if there is a format where there's less basics being played, it's definitely going to be Explorer. And there's people taking advantage of that with things like Field of Ruin and, oh, I've got no basics, and it just basically becomes like a land destruction deck. So anyway, let's jump into some games. See how it performs on this early season Mythic Explorer ladder. I'm fairly certain this queue time is going to go upwards of a minute, so... So, nothing. We're just going to have to wait. I actually queued up against someone in Platinum who I beat before. I just played one match to warm up. And there was some guy playing like Golgari, I don't know, Golgari, Go Wide. Playing like Gleeful Demolition, and he had like this massive board of 1/1s and 2/2s. I guess he was trying to convoke something out, and then I just like Meathook Massacred for 1. It was glorious. I'd really missed. There we go. So post 1 minute usually means a diamond player. Oh my goodness. Really goes to show how many people are playing Explorer, I think. And it might also have something to do with my time zones and whatnot, but... not great. I think we go scrying on turn 1. We're on the play. We're playing against another Yorion pile, except he's gone all the way up to 100 and... 107 card pile. Scry one. Yes, I'll take a champion. And we go for the black, have it ETB tapped. Wow, if this is an Abzan Yorion Mire, they need to work on this algorithm. Okay, so taxes. No. Oh, this is the one. Okay, so maybe it's just Lifegain. Okay. Now we can Treacherous Blessing next turn, play the tap land, and that'll allow us to cast Doom Foretold the turn after. Woo. I think Lair of the Hydra is the one that ought to go here. Oh, it's Lifegain, alright. I can block. Now he gets another +1/+1. Okay, I think it's just Doom Foretold time, right? Abzan Lifegain? I'm to the point where if we can keep this rolling, I might even, I don't know, I need to put things down now to continue this sack train. Cool. Cool beans, bro. We get rid of this. And I'm gonna scry. Is that too many Doom Foretolds? Yeah. And I'm gonna put down just like a random Meathook. This guy's always indestructible. So, yeah. Let's see what he sacks. And then I'm gonna kill this guy. Whatever. I was looking for something more interesting to play out. Yeah, I guess we can dig for, because I'm trying to get him to sack everything. So if we can just find like an Omen of the Sun, yes!
The patterned future appears before me.
Whatever you play, baby. I'm gonna keep forcing you to sack it off of my dude here. Okay? Yorion! Oof. Nice. So... Yep. Okay, with this. Finding the Soul Mender. And there goes your Heliod. Woo, baby! Feel pretty bad for the poor Platinum guy having to play a top 500 Mythic this early in the month. But then again, why should we feel sorry for opponents? I relish and revel in opponents' tears. Holding shift and printing enter. I don't have a Mac. Never will. Never ever gonna play Mac. Buy a Mac. Like, I'm the most anti-Apple person ever. I've never owned an Apple device. Oh, what? I lie. I had back in the day. Like, I'm talking, I was 16 or 17 years old. So, like, half of my life-ish, without giving away how old I am, ago, I had the very first iPod. The one that was, like, this thick, looked like an external hard disk. Go potato. Just because I'm Mythic? Really? I guess. I mean, your hand couldn't have been that bad. You can mulligan first before conceding, so I guess it was just, oh, he's Mythic. Doesn't mean anything, people. Actually, when I see a Mythic person and I'm down lower, I'm like, hells yeah, I'm gonna beat this guy. Rank means nothing. It's all about skill. And honestly, it's more about time. However, not to overly toot my own horn, but this month, like, I got there in less than 2 days. Like, I didn't play for the first 4 or 5 days of the season. Otherwise, I would have been there sooner. As I mentioned in a few social media posts and in the previous video, both myself and, you know, you don't say both if it's for 3 people, do you? But anyway, my children and I all got the stomach bug that's been making the rounds. Spent the last week or so in and out of bathrooms and dealing with puke and children spewing. Oh my goodness. So anyway, once everybody was healthy, jumped on, slammed it out in 2 days with my Selesnya Humans deck. Go check out the video. It's on the channel. Last one I just uploaded. I'm still on like 70 something plus win rate on like upwards of 150 matches or something. I think it's ridiculous. Like, in best of 1, humans in all their shapes and sizes, like, oh cool, mine, you know, I was trying to get creative and I splashed green for the angels, but you can just play the one from untapped. The win rates are so ridiculous. I honestly think Talia may need to get the axe. Nice hand. You know, come this ban announcement thing next August. Oh wow, mulligan down that low. Mono green. Let's go. I haven't played. Oh. What? I mean, I'll take it. Again, but this is not providing my viewers with great content. What, did you whiff on your fight rigging? Was it that bad? Guys, you know, I put up my stuff unedited. At least it takes no time at all. The only thing that's annoying is the queue times are very long. So we're 20 minutes in and we've only had like 1 full match. We'll probably go a little longer. These Yorion videos, like the deck, I don't know, did they... For whatever reason, they're taking longer than normal videos. I guess 80 card piles take longer to develop the game plan and execute it and win than 60 card piles. But yeah, so far my average game time in Explorer with these Yorion decks has been a good like 3 minutes longer than any of my average game times in Standard. Admittedly, I am playing aggro decks also in Standard, which makes sense, but I think it's more to do with the 80 card pile than anything. Just like to draw your attention to the fact that we're like, this is our 4th match, and we haven't played a single other person in Mythic. on this ladder. The Americans are awake now. The Europeans are probably still asleep, but again, I think it's to do with this all the way back to Platinum digging up people. I think it's more to do with the fact that nice hand again. There's more people playing Lord of the Rings in all its various... Wow, same opener as the last match. This will be great. Now I'm wishing I ran like at least 1 or 2 Field of Ruins. So... Elspeth? I think so. It's not unwinnable. Like, we can... If this deck starts to go off, then it starts to feel really bad. Okay. Yes. You. Then, second piece of the puzzle. Get rid of Wolf Willow Haven before it's too late. Couldn't you just play the old growth troll? Am I missing something here? I think we may have just, like, you know, broken up the combo wombo. Because now we just go ECD on the old troll boy. This guy has reach, but he needs mana. Doom Foretold is the go. Yes, it allows him to tap for extra, so now he'll probably be having enough to bring in the Cavalier. But we can Elspeth's Nightmare that. Okay. Boop. Oh, whoops. 2 or less. My bad. That was a huge misplay. But it's another thing that we can, you know, sack later to the Doom Foretold. So, cool. Now this thing has reach. We can't swing. Ah. We're about to go into holy crap, we've lost the game mode. Great Henge. Wow. What a deck, huh? Popping off. Green. 1, 2, 5 mana. It's not enough. Yorion! Doesn't matter at this point if he gets the Wolf Willow Haven back. Get rid of that guy.
Always another fight.
And get rid of you. Surely. What? Okay, yeah, because it's got that nice death trigger. Oh, what? Of course. Like, whatever. Okay, this is why I don't like Explorer. Stuff like this, just, it's a bit much, no? Like, what am I supposed to do about that? Yeah, fucking whatever. Absolute joke. What a deck, man. Mono green, guys, is... I played a game against one of my friends the other day, and like I get shocked. At how ridiculous this deck is. Like, now this is just gonna attack and we lose. What a ridiculous deck. And... Yeah. Alrighty, exile the top 20 cards of my library now. I'm gonna be a nice opponent. No, okay, I'm not gonna be nice. Bye. I really felt like we had that one. But once it gets going, there's nothing you can do against mono green. I found, like... I felt like we did a fairly good job of like getting rid of those early ramp things to stop him casting stuff, because it can start going off way sooner than it did. Then once it does, did I pick the wrong card when I picked the Kiora to have him discard? Should I have gone for the Karn? Because then it wouldn't have allowed him to bring in the Henge. I guess. I think it was one of those situations where, like, no choice is the right choice. Yeah, if you're into green and you haven't played Explorer yet, like, since they added Nykthos, the deck is definitely top tier. Like, S tier, I would say, even. Woo! We're gonna get an actual Mythic opponent? Hey! Wow, top 100. Johnny Guitar. Woo, scary. That's not the greatest hand I've ever seen. But I'll keep it, because I'm crazy! Gigantha pile. I guess this is the Convoke deck, or what else plays Gigantha? Is it maybe the Fires of Invention thing that I've seen? Okay, so it's just Boros Convoke. Meathook's gonna be great here. If we can actually... You know, if he plays hexproofy things, bad. Because then we can't use either of our removal spells. Just gets so out of hand so quickly. Let's try the seal. Whew! Ah. That's good. Yeah, kill you next turn with my Mythos of Nethroi. Ever? We're on 8 life. Holy cannoli, people. Just give me a break. Can we? Maybe just give me a break? Nah. Just maybe. Guess that's it. Holy cow, dude. Thankfully, Meathook is here to save the day. Oh, so close. And I mean, this deck can just very quickly just go boom, boom, 5 points of damage, as you saw in previous turns. But so far, sort of just hanging in there. We've got Yorion in hand. But yeah, I think it's got to be Doom Foretold. Gaining more life. Good. Interesting choice in your Boros Convoke deck, playing a Steel Seraph. Goes and fetches his Giganta. So now we're gonna get rid of the Meathook. And pass the turn. Flash in Omen next turn. Oh no, yeah, well, during his turn. Now we get to gain more life, make a dude, blah blah blah. Very nice. Binding of the old gods. Here to save the day. Boop, 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 boop. Yorion in hand for the next turn. He's got one of the hexproof spellzos. So black or green doesn't matter. That's problematic, of course. But we're on 10 life, so whenever it attacks, cast target instance mana value less than or equal to blah 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 blah. It's got trample. Sticky fingers. Gets the gods willing again, probably. No? Surely. It's got a... Okay, it was going to be that one or not. Fine. At least we don't die. And now we can cast the Yorion. Hopefully he doesn't have... The one I'm thinking about is... the same one you just had now, God's willing. All the Yorions. Come on, we have to have turned the corner now against aggro with that amount of removal. I mean, we've basically just killed everything. What more could you possibly have? Nah, that won't do it. Let's just throw everything there in case there's whatever. Drawing another card desperately would be my guess. Number 67. Boop, boop, boof. Off you go, my friend. Very nice. Very nice. This is a very scary brew. Like, go back and look at... I did a video on this the last time I dipped my toe into the Explorer meta. And I think I went undefeated on camera. If not, I dropped one match. So busted. But how are we doing for time? 35 minutes in. I think that leaves us with enough time for a final match. Let's try and end on a victory. Very sad about that mono green failure. But the 2 actual full matches we got, other than that one, were really good. So, hey. Maybe we'll be seeing a little bit more Abzan Yorion in Explorer, thanks to yours truly. I think there's, like, it's one of those metas where, like, it's so deep and so vast and there's so many card choices that the fact that these, like, you know, the 5 that are at the top now, Angels, Humans, Boros, Convoke, Abzan Greastang, they just happen to be, like, it's the problem with digital magic. Like, everybody sees that those are winning, so they copy those, and, like, less experimenting is done. There have to be, like, more decks that are tier 1, potentially creatable out of that massive card pool, and just people aren't, like, investing the time and wild cards to figure what those are out, I think. Am I a noob for saying that? Let me know in the comments, but there has to be more innovation in a meta that vast than just, like, freaking Selesnya Angels for months and months and... Okay, rematch against Johnny Guitar. With a okay-ish hand. But not against what he's coming up with, so let's... Yeah, okay, slightly better. I think Calix... Oof. I don't want to be gaining any... I mean, you know, losing any life, but at some point we're going to want to draw the life with... So let's get rid of the Eiganjo. Hello again, my friend. Rematch. Swift Spear. Ah. Yes. Yes. My good friend, welcome to the party. More creatures, please. Okay, no. That's a problem. Because already our Massacre can't kill it. This deck is ridiculous, I think. Like, just a little bit ridiculous. Not exactly what I was hoping for, unfortunately. This time around, we are screwed. I'm like 99.9% sure. Sure, you found all 4 of your ancestral, 3 ancestral angers in the top 10 cards of your library. Happens all the time. What more have you got? Hey, I'm blocking those 2. Of course. Insanity, man. Unbelievable deck. There we go, we just lost. Okay, no, wait. We can Calix and -3. Whew, I forgot about that. I was actually leading up to that.
Child of the stars.
Now, if he's got the God's Willing or whatever, we lose. Okay.
Punishment befitting of the crime.
Something that gives it haste and trample and everything in one go. No? Okay. Old Swifty. Sure. For a black source, we can Meathook the crap out of this board.
My world continues to fray.
can see now why he's got the Steel Seraph. I mean, just incredible. He just needs to give one of them flying. Good game. What a deck. Congratulations, Johnny Guitar, on the getting me on the crackback. But that, like, wow, Boros Convoke is very, 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 very strong. And we've arrived at the 45-minute mark, so that is going to have to be it. I wish I had not ended on a loss. You know how much I hate that, but, you know, I think we did a fairly good showing. The only thing I can, like, be sad about is the fact that we didn't get to play an Eerie Ultimatum the entire freaking video out of how many matches that was. But trust me when I tell you that it's worth the slot. Just as a 3-of to bring everything back, it's really, really explosive. I'm very, very disappointed that we didn't get to see it happen, but it is what it is. And that is going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, kindly consider leaving a thumbs up, a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel, please. I will be seeing you all in the next one with another fresh Explorer brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the Brew Lab, signing out. Peace, y'all.